Can I just share the link with people to join?
Absolutely. We should do that.
We should.
Here we are.
Hello, how
We're
are we?
live and direct from I'm in San Diego, California. Where are you?
I am in Klamath Falls, Oregon.
Klamath Falls. Is that the place with where there's the island coming out like through the it looks like the tip of a mountain just sticking out of a lake, and there's like
Yeah,
a
so that's
there's like
Crater Lake.
some
Yeah,
Crater Lake. Yeah.
actually really cool. So a volcano thousands of years ago erupted and then kind of imploded on itself and created this crater. And so the natural
Hmm.
snowfall fall created a lake, and then another volcano kind of came up and erupted and created like the island. They call it the Wizard Hat.
The Wizard Hat. Yeah, we were watching some missing 411 stuff about people that vanish in national parks, and Crater Lake was in there. So you guys be careful. But that's a story for another time, because right now, Shauna, it's time for Elite Zone Live. Are you ready
Elite
for it?
Zone Live. I am ready.
So yeah, so just to remind folks, if you're seeing this, comment and ask us to hop on the call if you want. We want to get people in here. We want to get people in the hot seat. Yes, we want people to join. But today, we have a really cool topic. We're going to be talking about the 4 types of content that every agent needs to convert more leads into listings and buyers. So
Okay.
last time, Shauna, you had a great spiel and metaphor for the awareness, right? Getting
Mhm.
people at the top of the funnel, because if you don't have that, then you don't have anything. And it looks like, here we go. It looks like Dan's popping in here. So, um, anyhow, if you don't have or if you don't have traffic right to the top of the funnel, then you're not going to have any leads, right?
Yeah.
So that's where it starts. But what we're going to do today is there's specific types of content, and I think I want to start with authority content,
Mhm.
because that's like top funnel, right? Help people find you, see you as the local expert, as a real estate agent. So that's kind of what we're going to start with. And I think that a great way to do that would be to start with some neighborhood focused content. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's talk about it.
Cool. Okay. So when you think about neighborhood blog posts, neighborhood videos, like when I say, showcase the neighborhood, what do we
Mhm.
mean by that?
I mean, like, get real into it. Like, explain to people what the feeling, what it's like, the atmosphere, the culture of that neighborhood, right? What it's like to live there. Highlight local, eateries or shops, or, if you talk about a community, really get into it. Think about all the advertisements that that community does to try to draw in people to come visit.
Hmm.
Those are resources you can repurpose for yourself on why it would be such a great place to live or buy or sell here. What we see a lot is like people go, "Oh, here I got a listing in this community. You want to come check it out?" Or they're like, "Hey, I'm a new realtor in this community," or different things, and that's like surface level. And
Yes.
consumers don't want surface level anymore, right? They want to know a little bit more. They want to do their own research. They want to do their own education, right? They want their own knowledge to make that decision. So it's no longer they're coming to us necessarily for that. So how can you make your website and add more depth and content to your website to answer a lot of the questions that they already have, to avoid sending them to Zillow or other places?
Right.
Right? And so that's kind of where like that authoritative content, that local content comes in. Is like when we talk about authoritative, it's not like it's like being more intentional with what you're writing so that people want to read it, and being more consistent with posting. And what we've found is the key in content for your website is a minimum one blog post a week. That's it,
Yep. Yep.
right?
Yep.
What do you
Yep.
like? I'm gonna turn it on to you now. That's like, what do you think it is?
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with you 100%. I think that whenever I talk to agents, and I ask them, I say, what's your job? What are you an expert in? They're like, well, I'm an expert in helping people buy and sell homes. And I always say, well, that's great. But first and foremost, you need to be the community expert on
Mhm.
where you want to help people buy and sell homes, right?
Yeah.
So I think that when when a buyer is looking to buy a property somewhere, they're not just looking for a home with features. They're thinking of their lifestyle. They're
Yeah.
thinking of the schools, the parks, the restaurants. Does it fit the vibe? Are they family oriented? Do
Mhm.
they like inner city? Do they like suburb? If and so what I a, a great way to do this, I think, is to have your weekly blog that you put up. You're focused in your neighborhood, and you can highlight a new restaurant or a park or a school, or talk about commute time, things like that, and get into the kind of the nitty gritty of the actual vibe of the neighborhood. Shoot a little video and then drop that into a blog post, and hit your 5,000 words. And that's, remind me again, this is for the month, right? 5,000 for the
Yeah.
month.
So what you wanna
So you
do
can,
is
doesn't have to be one.
5,000 words in a month. What Google or other search engines don't wanna see, even Facebook and everything, is that you just only do it once a month, all at once, make this long, form content,
Yep.
and then you're only posting once a month. They wanna see consistency. And
Consistency.
so over the last decade and a half, we've been studying this and we've studied the trends that have happened and have changed over time. And so they want to see that you're relevant and consistent, meaning once a week do a blog post. Now,
Yeah.
one blog post might be a short form, another one might be a little bit long form. One might include a video, one might not. Don't think that you have to do the same steps and recipe every time. Mix it up a little, right? And
Exactly.
so it's not as hard as people allow it to be in their minds. It's like, just take 1 second, find your favorite restaurant. If you're not blogging, I want you to find your favorite restaurant in one of the communities. I want you to
Hmm.
blog about that. Why is it your
Yep.
favorite? What do you feel
Yeah.
when you go in there? Do
Yes.
like a almost a review on that, and, you know, maybe that's your local place you go to once a month.
Or maybe that's like a little segment that you do, like restaurant reviews with you know what I mean? Like that's what I mean. Like that's what we're talking about. So let's say I want to do one blog post each week. So I do a restaurant highlight. I talk about the style of homes in the neighborhood. I do like a, hey, I'm out and about today meeting the business owners and communities, and just do like one video per week on school. Let's say it's schools, restaurants, businesses, and housing in the market. Those are my four like local segments that I'm going to focus
Mhm.
on. I do a video for each one, and then take that transcript, drop it into chat gpt, and say, hey, can you help me a little bit expand on this to make it into a blog post? And then whatever that gives back, read it. Don't just set it and forget it, but read it,
Yeah,
add your brand, and we could talk all day about having chat gpt help with this kind of stuff, but you get what I'm saying. So in that way, each week
absolutely.
you've got your new local highlight blog post. And if you did that in a specific neighborhood, like over a year's time, I mean, consistently with video, and I mean, that adds up. That
It does.
does
It's
build
the
authority.
compounding effect, right? And so which we kind of forget about in today's, instant gratification, right? We a lot of times we think, "Oh, I bought this, I'm blogging, or I posted, how come I'm not getting anything?" No,
Yep.
it doesn't happen once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, a month, 2 months. It is the compounding effect of your efforts over 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 18 months, and you
Yep.
have to keep it going because you're not competing against Google or with Google or things. You're competing against everybody else's content that they're posting. So it's kind of like
Yes.
you want to get in there, you have to be intentional, you have to be consistent and disciplined. And I encourage you, do this for 12 months solid. You will start creating more traffic than you've ever imagined. And
Yeah.
that's the visibility factor, right?
Yep.
Without that visibility, where are you getting the opportunities, the contacts, the leads, right? Are we just hoping that they're going to be referral? Are we hoping that they're going to come find us? Because that's not the way it works anymore.
Right.
The visible agent is going to outproduce the agent that's just working hard. It's just fact, right?
Yep.
People
100%.
want to know right now what your exposure is and if you're visible, because if you're not visible, why am I going to trust you to sell my home? That's what
Yeah.
they're asking themselves.
Yep. Exactly. I was just speaking to an agent yesterday who's in this South Carolina area, and she's like, I'm giving so much, like thousands of dollars a month to Zillow. It used to work, but it's not working very well anymore. And basically what she said, which kind of hit me, is she's like, I'm sick and tired of relying on other platforms to like promote promote me, like relying on paying other platforms. And so I'm like, do it yourself. Like you can do all this stuff yourself. Yes, it's more work, but start with the visible agent guide, start with doing some blog posts, just start thinking about how could I get, X amount of words onto my website. And I mean, I always tell people, I think you'll be surprised. I think you'll be surprised at what you can come up with.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think about it. There's things we do in life is hard no matter, what we do. And you have to choose the hard you want. It's hard for me to post consistently. It's hard for me to create this structure. I've got to post a blog. I've got to call the leads. I got to do this. It's very hard to do that. But the alternative is it's hard when I don't do it because I'm not getting as much business and traction there. So you got to choose the kind of hard, right? Any success you want to have is going to take a lot of work and be hard, right? And so I choose the hard of let's do hard now to make it easier later, right?
Yep.
Doesn't mean it's not going to be hard later. You're just going to create this rhythm and cadence and your capacity is going to grow. But if you don't do this, you will be left behind. You're going to
Yep.
wonder, why am I not selling as much? Why am I not getting as much? Why me? Because you're not doing what it takes. Consumer tendencies have changed. Evolution has changed. Technology has changed. People want to see you on social media. They want to see you
Yeah.
online. They are comparing you to those things. They are making their decisions of who to use based on that before they even come and contact an agent.
Yeah,
You've got to
before
be
they
there.
before they even meet you. Exactly. So I love that. So that the top of the funnel, the authority content, go out there. We're talking neighborhood blog posts, we're talking video tours, we're talking local guides, specific guides to areas. You can create these different sorts of assets. You've got your market updates, but make little videos, put it into a blog post, get something up every week and get started. So I think that's
Yeah.
great.
The
Yep.
biggest thing is like these are ideas for you to take on to try different things. Don't go out and try to do all of them all at once because what will happen is you'll do it once and you'll never do it again because it was too overwhelming.
Yeah, you get analysis by paralysis. I
Hmm.
always tell people, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right?
Yep.
So it's like one foot in front of the other. And I think Justin, who unfortunately is not able to join us this morning, I think he's coming next week though. He always talks about, not trying to do every single thing all the time, all at the
Yeah.
same time, all by yourself, and then because that's just going to burn you out. Right. So
Yeah.
be methodical about it. Okay. So we've got our authority content. A little bit more middle funnel. I want to talk about proof content. So, Shauna, once I've got my neighborhood blog post, I've got my video content, I know what I'm doing, and I've actually started to kind of put the screws to that. When people engage with me, how am I proving that I'm the right choice? Right? Because it can't just be content, it's got to be good, right? It's got to
Mhm.
be informative, it's got to be valuable. So
Yeah.
how can an agent position themselves and say, okay, yeah, like I'm the person in Grant Park in Chicago, that's me, I'm that real. So like now they're the eyes are there. Now how are we going to hook them in?
Yeah. So a lot of that could be, I mean, there's so many different ways. It's not just one, right? A couple ways are posting answers to questions on social media
Yep.
groups, right?
Yep.
Um, Posting your testimonials on your website, but also
Yep.
on, it should be diversified. Website, Google, Yelp, Facebook. Yes,
Yep.
some on Zillow, but not everything on Zillow. Like the more you put into Zillow, the more you're sending your traffic, your clients to Zillow, right? And if you want to control it, everything should be coming back to you
To you.
in your website. That should be your main hub.
Yes.
Okay. Um, it doesn't mean you don't use or can't use Zillow, but use Zillow to funnel traffic to you, not the other way around, right? The other way is like, what about, I mean, you've helped clients, success stories, a video with your client, you know, could go a long way. And it doesn't have to be this big production. Grab your cell phone, okay, put it on a little kind of
Yeah.
tripod thing,
Right. I got mine. I got mine
fog it up,
right here.
and take it with you and just ask your client a couple questions and videotape it, right? It doesn't have
Yes.
to be a big production, but
No,
it
and for the
shows.
record, we always make this out to be harder than it is. Like we always think like, well, if I ask this person to take 30 seconds and do this, they're going to be like, I don't want to do that. Why are you bothering me with this? But like 9 times out of 10, if you've done a good job, I mean, they're going to be like, yeah, absolutely. I'd be more than happy to do that.
Yeah,
Right. We just don't want to bother people. But I'm glad you mentioned that because the client testimonials, the social proof, that's like, gold. There's gold in getting video testimonials and case studies, things like that. So these are all going to build proof. I mean, I'd say, if you don't have, if you don't, you want to get started now and you don't have all that stuff yet, even some before and after photos, like just stuff that shows here's how it was, then I came into the mix, and then here's how it ended up. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
just kind of thinking along those lines. But yeah, that's going to bridge the gap between the attention that we're getting top of the funnel and then actually getting a conversation. And I love like the FAQ stuff. Like honestly, a great way to do this, list out every single question that you've gotten from clients, as
yeah,
an agent, and then write out some thorough answers to that. Have your assistant chat GPT help you out if need be. And then you've got great video content. You've got great even top of the funnel content, right? If you want to pull people in. But then sharing specific, like, hey, I had a seller who ran into X, Y, and Z problem. This was the challenge. Here's what we did to solve it. We figured out that A, B, and C, things
mhm,
like that. Like let people in on how you do what you do, right?
absolutely,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
Okay. Awesome. So if that's the case, we've got our authority content, then we're proving to the people that we are the right person. How about personality content? I think this is I want to toss this into the mix because I feel like there's a lot, like we're talking intentional about helping people, getting leads, right? But there's people that will choose to work or not work with somebody simply based off of their personality or their personal brand. Or somebody might have a Hello Kitty pillow in their video, and somebody's like, oh, I love Hello Kitty. This okay, I'll follow this person. Right. So it doesn't always have to be just about, I help people buy or sell homes in this neighborhood, or I'm the real estate authority. But you want to just kind of build up a personal brand of, hey, this is me, like this is what I do, this is who I am, this is my personality. So what do you think that can also be considered an asset to really play into your personal brand and your personality?
I mean, I think that anything can play to that, and I think you should tap into that, right? I think a lot of people try to hide who they personally are or from creating a personal brand, and they think they need to be this, standard real estate agent, suit and tie, and, tap into your brand and personality, right? That's what's going to be the differentiator of why I choose you versus another one, right? You're not going to be able to sell and cater to every single person out there. You have a target audience, right? I think you had a story previously where someone said, "Why are you trying to be this guy when you're the guy that is in a band and you can be catering to those types of people because
Mhm.
that's a different niche, right?"
Exactly. Yeah, that was his point was like, you know, you can at later on you can help whoever you want. But right now, like your net is cast too wide, and you're trying, and it's making you look just like every other agent out there. So pick a lane, dive into that, and then build that up a little bit, get some transactions under your belt, and then then you can market, or if you want to broaden out from there, that's fine. But yeah, I think a lot of agents go too wide, right? And I think one of the
Yeah,
things you mentioned about having a local focus, you can also have a personality focus. You're like, it doesn't always have to be with or it doesn't always have to be, I will help anybody and everybody, and that's what I want to do. I mean, you can have a preferred ideal customer profile. Like, I like working with veterans. I like working with people in the music community. I like working with X, Y, and Z. So you can do that, and then you can start to niche down and segment down, and then focus on building personality content that's in alignment with your ideal customer profile.
yeah, absolutely. If
Yeah.
you're going after everybody, it's kind of like that, a jack of all trades, a master of none, right? And so how do you identify and build rapport with everybody when your niche is these few people?
Yep. Yep, exactly. So, anyways, personality stuff is great, and this doesn't have to be. You don't have to, put too much brain power into that. Like, it could be just sitting with your morning coffee, and you could just pop on a video and talk about what you're doing that day, and what your agenda is, why you're excited about something. Like, it doesn't have
Yeah,
to be anything crazy. So, but yes, it's definitely good to have that in. And then the community involvement too. I mean, if folks in a specific community, if those are your people, then talk about the community, right? That's why
absolutely.
you're doing what you're doing. All right. So we covered authority, we covered proof, we covered personality. That's the third types. The last type is conversion content, the stuff that's at the bottom of the funnel. And the first thing that comes to mind for this is, using lead magnets, using guides, using valuable content that you're giving away in order to get a creative conversation started with somebody, so you can convert them. So, what are a couple of different ways that you've seen successful agents do this and actually start conversations?
Yeah, and I want to be very clear on conversion. Like, that doesn't mean conversion to a close or a transaction, right? And so there's several levels of conversion. You got visibility eyeballs that convert to traffic, right? To your site. You got to get more people at the top of the funnel, the traffic. Then there's the conversion of that traffic to a lead. And all a lead is name, email, phone number. It doesn't mean that they're ready now to buy. Doesn't mean that they're pre-qualified. It doesn't mean that they have the deposit or they know anything or that their
Yep.
finances are in order. And that's the challenge, right? So understand which stage of a conversion you're at and identify that. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, the conversion that you're referring to is we got the visibility, we got the traffic, but how do we convert into a lead, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And so the biggest thing there is converting into a lead. Yes, you're going to use different calls to action, right? So, and that's taglines and things we're saying, right? Things like, hey, click now for an appointment, fill
Yep.
this out for a free guide.
Yep.
Hey, we'd love to learn more about you, or a lunch and learn, or anything like that. Have a lead capture, right? You've got to have a way to connect name, email, and number, right? You have to have a way to get that contact information um, readily available.
Exactly. And I think I just want to point out something that came to mind is on one of the podcasts a few weeks back, we were talking about the fact that you have on your Agent Elite site, like, something you can do with an Agent Elite site is you can have real-time alerts if somebody is looking at a property, right?
Yeah,
So, like, what better way to start a creative conversation than to know that somebody's looking at one of the properties on your website, right? Like that's a great, you're going to be a lot more likely to convert that person than if, just a random person that maybe liked a post. You know what I mean? So,
Exactly.
so yeah, so I think like things like that, like use the tools that you have available. If you're an agent and you're with an agent elite type company, they should have some sort of way to monitor this kind of stuff, right? Because they should be
Mhm.
consistently adding value, and making sure that you're converting website visitors. So I love that. I think that's a great way to do it. And like neighborhood focused content, neighborhood guides of restaurants, 10 reasons why X neighborhood is blowing up in 2026, like, whatever, but something that you're giving away to create conversations with people, I think is really, really important. So, um, that's where we're at. So if you are an agent and you're looking to get out there, you want to create some content, you want to get more eyes on your business, then you got to build authority by positioning yourself as somebody who knows the community, and you got to engage with the community, and you need to show examples of your work, you need to show examples of case studies, testimonials, things like that to prove, and then get your personality in there, right?
Mhm.
Be your shiny happy self, or whatever, your angry depressed self, I don't know, whoever your niche is, right? But be
Absolutely.
that. Don't be afraid to be that. And then make sure that once all of that's in alignment, when people are interested, you've got quick, efficient ways to engage with that person. Otherwise, all of that work, top funnel, mid funnel, is for nothing.
Yeah, I mean the reality of it is that you have to get out there and put yourself out there. You're a business. You are in sales, right? And so not everybody's going to come to you through your referrals. Not every referral is a slam dunk. So you need to be doing things that are going to get you more visibility, to create leads, because that buyer today is going to be a seller later. That's how you get that referral. That seller that you get could be a buyer and a seller in the future. And so a lot of times we think of instant gratification, what can I get now? And then we think of, okay, well, I got them, I'm done. No, keep nurturing that person.
Yeah, you never know. Like, man, it could take 5 years of consistently nurturing somebody, and that person could turn around and their whole entire family could use you. You just don't know. I guess that's the point that I'm
Absolutely.
making. You don't know
You don't know.
what's going to happen. So yes, so get on it. But I want to ask you, let's say I'm like, okay, there's all these four different types of content, I'm already overwhelmed, I know I have to do something, and I got to start now. What's the first thing that you would do?
Outside of calling Agent Elite for help, right? Because we can help you with those things. We have tools to make it easier. We even have
Yes.
concierge packages that will do it for you.
Right.
The first thing I say is just write a blog once a week and post it on your website. That's right now. Do that. Like, be consistent there for 3 6 months before you add something new in. Because
Yep.
what happens is, again, we try to add this, try to add that, try to do this, everything at once, and then we're overwhelmed because we can't keep up. And so if you add one thing and you practice and build that into a habit, then what is naturally going to happen is you are going to expand your capacity on what you can take on next. Okay, I've already got this habit. It's done. It's easy. I know what to do. It's a routine. Let's add one piece. And then you come over
Yes.
here, let's add another, right? So you gotta, crawl, walk, run.
Yep, exactly. I love that. Okay. Great stuff. So guys, agents, real estate agent, rock stars out there, if you have questions about these four different types of content, if you are stuck on what to post, what to shoot a video about, how to write a blog, what's SEO and how does it work, and why do I need to have all my online business listings all synced up? If you have questions about this stuff, Agent Elite, just call us, drop a comment, DM us, like that. We're doing what we want you to do. We're trying to get our faces out there as much as possible in front of you to add as much free value, I might add, because we'll help you for free. We would love it if you would, partner with us, and that would be great for you as well, because we've got a system that works. But regardless, I mean, we're here to make sure that you do a better job at, or you hit your goals that you want to hit, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So pick one, stick to it, and create that consistency. And the biggest thing is go download the Visible Agent Playbook at agentelite.com/visible.
Hmm.
And it'll give you the step-by-step playbook. It is a proven strategy that hundreds of our clients have used to generate extra deals every single year, going from a 5 to 7 average to a 15 plus average. We have clients that are doing 50 plus deals a year, 30, 20, like we can help you get there. We just need to work with you on the strategy and tweak some of the input and output to get you where you want to go.
Yes, absolutely. And anything in the visible agent, I mean, it's not going to cost thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to do this stuff. It's rolling up your sleeves and getting in the thick of it. But the sweat equity always pays off, right?
Absolutely.
Footwork always yields
Absolutely.
results. So that's what we're going to leave you guys with. Again, we're going to do this every Friday. And we want to get you guys involved. We want to have you join us on the show, get your beautiful faces up here, answer your questions. And we want to hear about what you're doing. What are you doing in the community? What are we missing? You're like, hey, you got, you talk a lot about this. I tried this one thing and it's really helped. Like, let's all help each other out here, right? There's enough listings in the country for everybody. All right. So
Absolutely. There's
let's,
enough to go around. We want to create a community that can help each other succeed and push the limits and make the industry great again.
yep, exactly. What would that be? MIGA. MIGA. Make the industry great again.
There we go.
All right, awesome. Okay, so then we'll see you guys next week. Any last parting things before we're out, or are we gonna peace out and get on with our Fridays and let these agents go out and get after it?
Go be successful. Go call and add 3 contacts to your database today. What's
There
stopping
it
you?
is. There it is. 3 contacts today. That's the challenge. All right, guys. I'm Max Bergstrom. This is Shauna Stevens. And from everybody here at Elite Zone Live, we hope you have a fantastic weekend and we will see you next time.
Bye.